X-Men 97, Season 1, Episode 5, I'll remember it. And God, this team's horny. God, this team's horny. Because this episode, half of it, is one big ass soap opera. Well written, really well written. This episode is back to the quality of those first two episodes. But it is a soap opera. Which, to be fair, it is X-Men. And X-Men is nothing but like a midnight, like a Shakespeare play, like, Midsummer Night's Dream or some shit, where it's like, this person like this person, but this person also like this person's also this person, but that person with that person, it's like, god damn. And we're doing with clones as well. We're doing with clones, with, what's it, Marilyn and all that. Always missing Spider-Man showing up and go like, oh, I thought clones was my thing. I thought you had to spend like 2 years. I mean, to be fair, it's a bit convoluted. How I deal with clones is very convoluted, and it's like 10 tiles, and it takes like 2 years to complete it, to me to tell you that entire story. But I deal with clones a lot. I keep bumping into Ben Riley a lot. It's annoying as hell. Anyway, that's always missing. But the thing is, this soap opera nonsense, it's just one big well-written stuff with, oh, Jean is trying to picture, okay, who's just got brainwashed by Mr. Sinister, is now back in the expansion, and is like, okay, what was real, what was a true memory, what do I remember, what do I don't remember. Logan's like, it's like, trust me, Jean, me who experienced this whole I don't remember stuff, don't let the past bug you. Don't let the past bug you. Because it's just going to eat you up inside. And then she immediately kisses him. I'm like, god damn. Damn, Jean. Phew. And then he ejects her. I was like, okay. Okay, that's a little bit of the soap opera. But it doesn't end. It doesn't end because you're thinking, Cyclops, he's fine. Cyclops, he's the boys now. He's not going to do anything. Oh, fuck, he's having sex with the Goblin King, who's a clone of Jean Grey. Fuck, he's having sex with his wife's clone. Which at the one end, I was like, is that cheating? And now I go, yeah, it's cheating, because it's like saying, oh, I didn't cheat because your twin looks like you. It 100% looks like you. That totally makes sense. But, for Cyclops' offense, probably in his head, the original Jean is probably the clone in his head. In his head is, clone Jean is the real Jean, and the real Jean is clone Jean. Because he's like, I was married to you, we were going to have a life together, we were going to retire, we were going to do this, we have a baby together, blah, 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 blah. I was in hospital with you, and all that. So I kind of get it, but still, dude. Clone? Really? And now so I'll be like, Madeline, there's Wolverine. He has a thing for Jean. What about that? What about that? But you're thinking, well, that's it. That's the end with the soap opera. I mean, it's wonderfully written, all that kind of stuff, but you think that's the end of the soap opera. No, we're not, because most of this episode is set in Genosha, which is a city. There's a mutant island that is filled nothing but mutants. And for once, mutant kind is at peace. That humans and mutants can coexist and everything's fine. Everything's fine, I repeat. And Nightcrawler is there, so that was cool. And he shows up for a couple of scenes. That was kind of neat. But go Rogue. Rogue, my friends. She is into two guys, Magneto and Gambit, and she's doing the whole thing of, I need to choose who do I pick? And then she goes for one guy, and then says F you to the other guy, but then dumps the other guy, and then goes for the guy that she says F you to, and then decides to go, soap operas. It's like, it's a bit of a minefield trying to wrap around things. But I don't lie, like when Rogue and Magneto go for that kiss, I was like, woo, things got a bit saucy. I was like, who put the heat on? I was like, woo, jeez Louise, woo, 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 woo. But then it's the moment that everyone's talking about. The last 10 minutes, which is my guess, because Cable shows up in this. Also, the Watcher shows up in this. There's a little silhouette, so the Watcher's there. If you want to connect to the MCU, all that kind of stuff. So it's part of the MCU multiverse. So, I don't know. All that, but with Cable showing up, I'm wondering if they're doing Age of Apocalypse. I'm wondering if they're doing that. You never know. Maybe they're doing a version of it. But we see, and spoilers here from now on. Like, I've been talking about, like, triangles. There's not really much of spoilers here, but I'm talking about true spoilers here. We see the genocide of fucking Genosha. Like, Sentinels are just dropping onto the floor. We see a 3-headed Sentinel, that is blasting Misha's left, right, and center. And if you hit its beam, you die. And it's like the end of days, end of the world, and you have, Rogue, Gambit, and Magneto trying their hardest to stop this massive, this invasion. And at the beginning, of course, they give you the big heroics. They're kind of giving you, hey, these are the X-Men. They can do it. You don't need the others. It's the X-Men. We can do this. And I'm like, yep. And then stuff happens. And more stuff happens. And there's a lot of emotional drama. The intensity there. Like, when Magneto gets that train and says, we will avenge them. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, like you put that thing right up, you get that train and shove it up with that Sentinel's asshole, you do that. And then there's a part where Woe gets completely pissed off, with Gambit, we're hearing every time that Gambit shows up, I'm like, yeah, cool. This is a very, Gambit highlight episode because of the ending. Once again, spoilers towards it, and we get deaths. I assume the death of Eric, because you got the line of, "I'll save you, kid. Everything's gonna be fine," because this is kid who's kind of clinging onto him, trying to. Don't worry, the X-Men, Magneto will take us, and he just gets blasted in, and I'm like, okay, right, so that's the end of Magneto. Okay, whew, that's a bit rough. And then Gambit gets stabbed. And I'm like, fuck, they killed Gambit. Okay. That's a bit emotional, and, I'm like, fine, cool, awesome. Not cool, awesome, but I'm getting the emotional feels they want us to have. But then we hear the line. With them doing a Death of Superman, because in Death of Superman, there's a image of Lois Lane holding Superman in her arms. We have Rogue holding Gambit in her arms. And the final lines of the episode, she says, "Sugar, I can't feel you." And fucking hell, Marvel, fuck you for making me cry. Cry for 5 minutes straight. I was like, oh, what is this? I was like, I can't help but say, this is a cartoon. This is Ant-Man. And they make me feel so emotional to these versions of these characters. And me who only seen like a season and 5 episodes of the original series, I'm just so drawn by what happens in this episode. And I'm like, oh, I mean, I know I'm jumping around, and normally I try to make it under 10 minutes, but there's a lot of things to pack here. And next week, we just get part 2 of Life Death, and I'm like, fuck your Life Death Storm, fine, sucks, you gotta get your powers. I want to know what fucking happens now with this whole Genosha shit. I need to understand what's going on. I want to know, like, I mean, naturally, Wogue isn't gonna be okay, but is how Wogue's handling this? How is the rest of the X-Men handling this? Like, what's going on here? But, yeah, just, a powerful episode,